my channel SK Codify. In this video, we are going to talk about filter, map, and reduce function. These functions are basically used to play on data and play on data in a concise way, in a functional way, in a short, uh, small codes. We can play and we can get our result in a very small set of code. Let's say, and and these functions most of the time may work in a combination, in a club manner. We are going to use these methods most of the time together. Okay, although we can use it separately also. Filter can be absolutely used separately. Map and reduce can be used separately, but most of the time they are get um, used together. And using these functions we can find our data, something like in a query manner. Not exactly we are going to write some query as we do in the database, but a very handy manner which was not we cannot do that in a imperative programming. Let's say if we try to say, uh, from this array, let's we want to play on this array and we want to find some we have some requirement. And what is the requirement is that find the number of uh, find the number of characters uh, for the player name which names length is greater than 5. Okay, does it make sense? Find the number of character means number of character means sum of the characters. Find the number of character for the players names, or from the players of the players names of the player name which names length is greater than 5. So what we need to do, first we need to filter out, uh, first we need to filter out uh, the names greater than the names length is greater than 5. Okay, the second what we need to do, count sorry yeah collect the length of collect the length of uh, each names from the filtered uh, list. Okay, because we will have a list here which would have names in that list greater than 5. Length is greater than 5. And here we will then uh, here we will then sum up the length collected here. Okay, sum of the length. uh, okay, so uh, first we will use the filter function, then map function. Filter function is self-explanatory. Based on the logic, we will get filtered element from this players list, or from the supplied array, from the source array. We will get some filtered array, and then we will use map here. This is basically map. Why map? What map does is, uh, map also means map function also give you in return array. Okay, an array, but you can apply some logic on this filtered array and get that result in a different form. In a different form means what? In this filter, in this filtered item here, we will have the name. Okay, we can, and these would be string obviously. Here what we are going to do, we will count the length, we will, I mean, get the length and store in an array. So this is one example, this is the, why we are doing is this, because of, satisfying this requirement. We can have different requirement. So accordingly we can, uh, what we can get the data in a different map. A different map means in a different collection. We are mapping from one form to another form. Okay, here let's say we can have uh, some object. Okay, some object, let's say employee object. We filtered out the employee object, and then the only thing we need is salary. The only thing we need the salary, because maybe we are going to count the calculate the expenses on the salary that company is doing. So we will collect all those salary in a different array. So we are mapping that salary to a different array. Okay, and then on that particular array, in this phase we also have a list, I mean the array, and then we will operate on that. You're getting my point. So uh, also one thing I would like to mention is that these filter, map and reduce function is used in a stream way. A stream way means uh, 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 one the operations, three operations is happening. Okay, and one source, the source for this operation is, the source data for this second operation is coming from the first operation. Okay, second operation sourcing the data to the third operations, and the original collections is not getting changed, or original data, original array is not getting changed. Every time we are getting a shallow copy of the of from this original array, we are always going to get a new array, a shallow copy of these elements into a new array. Okay, so it works in a stream way, as the the result of this operation becomes the source for this operation, and the result of this operation becomes the source for this operation. So it's a flow of a stream. Okay, and in the reduce function, what we do is basically we get single result, final result. Final result means, okay, final result means we are getting the number of character. We are we are doing the sum operation. Okay, uh, let's say in a different scenario, we can calculate what is the average percentage of hike of employees happen in this appraisal time, or what is the average number of hits on certain application or certain website based on 1 month of data or 1 year of data. So some aggregated function we can excuse me, use in this reduce function, like total, average, minimum, maximum, something like that. So final one result we will get it in this function. So let's try to do that. So we are going to do here players dot filter, and we are going to apply the logic on the element names names of names start the length of this the length of the name should be greater than 5. Okay, so here at this point we have an array uh, which will have this which will have the data as per satisfying this logic. Okay, we can print this out here at this level also. We can see uh, filtered players. Okay, sorry, what am I doing? I'm writing the console here. Sorry, console.log filtered. Okay, so all these elements is greater than 5 characters. Okay, now now what we can do, we are going to apply. So there are different ways, I mean, to write the code, but let's say here what we can do is, now we can do the map. uh, in the map, what we are going to do, we are going to get a callback function. Okay, and we are going to get the return the length. Okay, return the length. So are you getting this? I mean here, and finally actually it should we should remove this, but let's say we will remove this letter, we need to change this letter, or at least we need to change the name. But let's see here what we are getting the result, and let me explain it what is happening. So at this level we have got filtered, means the name, the array of the names which has element greater than 5 size. Okay, and now here we are mapping. We got some data from that, elements which is here in this array. um, and we got some data from there. Let's say for now we are getting that we are collecting the length only. Okay, we are collecting the length only and mapping it to an array. So it's a different story, like how it is being mapped on. That's a different theory. How it is going to map, I don't see where it is going to map, how it is being supplied to an array. uh, I just want to display, I just want to showcase you how it is going to work. And now what we can do, so let's try to print it here. Okay, uh, what we will have that in the filtered list, the length of the each element, the length of the each element, each filtered element. Okay, so Sachin, Sehwag, Ganguly, Jadeja, the size of each element from that string. Excuse me. Now what we can do, now we can supply, sorry, now we can use this reduce function. Okay, now we can use the reduce function, and using the reduce function we will finally sum up the all the length. Okay, so in the callback function here, we are going to get. Okay, so what is the parameter we are going to get here is previous uh, previous element, current element, and the current index and array. Okay, previous element, current element, and the index. If I'm not wrong, let me uh, confirm this. Mm, which one is first? Current index, and which one is the last index? Okay, yeah. So accumulator, current, and current accumulator is this. We can get previous, current, and index. So what we are going to do is previous is going to work as accumulator. Let's say that return previous plus current. Okay. So now what it become is the result, or we say total characters, because from here we are going to get only one value, not an array. Okay. So total characters is 25. 25. Can we calculate that? Uh, 6 for Sehwag, I mean 6 for Sachin, 6 for Sehwag, 7 for Ganguly, plus 6 for Jadeja. Okay, so it's 25. So see this in how, in a concise way, we are able to satisfy this requirement. Okay, this is requirement, this first line is the requirement. In the previous way, if we want to do this implementation, what we need to do is iterate through this array and filter out manually which is greater than that, and on the second array, on that filtered result, we will apply, we will maybe from there only, maybe from that iteration we can calculate the result. But this is simple scenario. In this it looks, that way, if we try to write that logic, uh, for uh, this is the previous way, this is the older way of writing this logic. Player of players. Okay, players. Okay, to satisfy the requirement, what we can say, um, we can write some conditions. Okay, we can write some condition. If condition, if player dot length is greater than 5. Okay, we can have some result here. Let total is equal to, first assign 0, and then we can say total is equal to total plus uh, player dot length. Okay, and here we can print out console dot logic, console dot log. Am I right? Am I writing correctly? Okay, is this really done? Yeah, total is 25. So if we see this, how simply we can satisfy this requirement. But in this is simple string based, so it looks to us like, okay, why we are doing this much, and what is the need of, uh, but actually it becomes this way, becomes very complex in the when we have real life requirement in the real project. uh, so yeah, that's why these functional way of writing code is much more useful and preferred. So yeah, I think this is all about. And the original, the one thing I think I already mentioned is that the original data structure, I mean the array does not get changed by this operation, although here also it's not being changed, to mention that for this scenario. Okay, I will try to make someday a video with the real example. Mm, Real example means I will try to create some complex problem based on some objects. Ideally, in reality, in the real project, we just don't have these kind of array. We have set of JSON data, okay, and we have to play around that. So I will try to create that video on that complex object. And yeah, so that's all about this video. And what next? I think that we covered all these array functions, all these methods on the array functions. So yeah, if you like my videos, uh, please subscribe it. Stay safe, do coding as much as possible, and stay safe, be happy, and thank you.